Hi, it's me, Gerald, again. Uh, I made a video not too long ago about medical marijuana. It wasn't very concise. It didn't sound very intelligent. I looked and sounded like some kind of a stoned fool. I apologize for that. However, the context of the video is valid. The reason I wanted to make the video was to try to make others aware of the plight of people on medical marijuana. Now, there's quite a few states now that declared medical marijuana a legitimate medicine, necessary in a lot of cases and conditions to help alleviate symptoms and such. It works for a lot of ways and a lot of different conditions. Some people say it helps them alleviate their pain. Therefore, they are able to cut down on opiates that doctors are more than willing to throw at a person. They'll take one like me and say, "Oh, your pain isn't being addressed very well. You mean you're still hurting? Yeah. I still hurt, doc. I mean, what am I going to do? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and increase your pain meds. We'll see if that helps. We want you to be comfortable." And you want to say something like, "Well, doc, let me, I've been trying medical marijuana. It's been working for me." You want to say it that way, but if you do, they're going to act weird about it. Instead, you ask them, "Well, what do you think about medical marijuana? I'd like to try that and help try to augment some of the pain medication I'm already taking so I can cut down on those opiates and hopefully do a few other things to help me along, make me more comfortable." Well, you don't want to do that either. You don't want to approach your regular doctor. They're all so scared. They're all so they're also harnessed by the insurance companies. They do what they're told, and what they're told is, someone asks about medical marijuana, you tell them you take either the medication that they prescribe or medical marijuana. You can't have both. Now, okay, excuse me, but that's what happened to me. I was given that ultimatum, and then before I could even answer the ultimatum, I was given one of my regular UAs, which I do because I'm on what's called a narcotics contract, where you promise to follow the rules. Plain and simple, which I do. I only take the medicines I'm prescribed at the prescribed or less dosage, mostly the prescribed dosage, because my pain's pretty, it can be pretty bad at times, and it's constant, and it's more than just one type and in one place. It's a multiple situation. I can explain all that, but that's not the point. The point is, I'm legal. I have a card that says I can use medical marijuana, and the treatment of it is like, for instance, let me get back to what I was saying about my doctor. Excuse me. The one doctor I had, Dr. Potla here in Portland, Oregon, when I asked about medical marijuana, she forced the insurance company, or the insurance company forced her to have me kicked out of her clinic, de-rolled, as they say, basically cut off my medication and put into withdrawals, just because I asked about medical marijuana and how it could possibly help me. I didn't get consultation. I didn't get any compassion. I got ultimatums and jackboot behavior. Nazi behavior. Completely kicked out of their program. That's incredible, isn't it? Don't you think so? Well, I do. Shit. A lot of that stems from W's attitude about it and the Republican attitude about it. Yeah, I say that because I don't think the Democrats would have allowed this type of behavior by the DEA and such. Federal authorities, the way they're stepping all over states' rights, Telling California, I don't care if you do have vending machines. I don't care if you do it legally. We're still going to try to arrest you. What's wrong with those people? Not only do we have rights as citizens, but the states have rights. I thought. As a matter of fact, that's what the Civil War was over. Well, that's what they say, right? States' rights. That's what your history teacher will tell you. But it's actually over the fact that the Southerners wanted to have slaves. And most Northern people actually thought it was inhumane. And it is. But besides that, the attitude is the same. Right? The government thinks it knows best. And it does what it thinks it knows best for its citizens. Not what the citizens truly want. You ask them. They'd rather medical marijuana period be legalized. It's so stupid throwing kids in jail for years for having a joint when the very person that throws them in jail sucks a freaking drink at lunch probably, gets off work, either has a couple of whiskeys or a freaking pitcher of beer and then goes driving home. Same person that gives them years for having a roach in Texas and other places that are so backwards it's crazy. Anyway, let's get back to what I was saying about medical marijuana. My condition is, excuse me, I need a drink of this. I'm just dying of thirst. Oh, that chunk? That's Mr. Biscuit. He's my main squeeze. He's my big dude. He's a big guy. That's a big cat. Look at him. Well, he's like a little kitty. He's so cute. We love him. Yes, we do. He's a great cat. Anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. Yeah, I'm on a bed. I don't have any legs, for crying out loud. What do you expect? It's easier to sit on my bed and have my computer. So why begrudge me a little medical marijuana instead of throwing a bunch of opiates at me? Albeit I don't mind the opiates. Why should I? I've been on them for years, and yes, I am probably an addict now. Gosh. But there's really something wrong with the picture. Why not? A government will condone alcohol, the biggest killer in the world. They're the biggest killer there is. Not just yourself, but there's usually collateral damage because alcoholics usually like to drive. They think they drive better. Oh, I drive better when I'm drunk. I don't know how many times I've heard that ignorant phrase, that ignorant soliloquy. Oh yeah, oh, and then the media's always jumping on the bandwagon. Yeah, a glass of wine a day is good for you. It's the grape juice, okay? It's not the alcohol. It's the grape juice. It doesn't have to be wine. Stupid. So, getting back to medical marijuana. Have some compassion. Give us a break. Don't send the DEA over to confiscate all our gear. First, they make us grow our own medicine here in Oregon. It's just crazy. And then they allow people that aren't even sick, they're just your caregiver. They're allowed to have some too. What's the... I don't mind. It's not that. That's not the point. The point is it's a double standard. Stupid state. Stupido estada. Excuse me. Anyway, we've got to come to grips with reality and the practicality of the situation. No, I'm not a blatherski. Skite, however you want to pronounce it. Listen, it's medical marijuana. Stop making us... Let us get some dispensaries together like they do in California. We can do that here in Oregon. It makes life so much simpler for us. Of course, we can always make our own dispensaries. Why not? Get a bunch of caregivers together all in one building, all in one shop, so we're caregivers, grow the stuff, bring it over there to dispense to their patients, and they're allowed to help other patients. That's how we can do it. That's legitimate in the eyes of the state. Right? But the DEA will be there any minute. They'll raid it anyway like they plan on doing in California where they've got the vending machines now. What a great idea. What a great idea. Geez, if they're going to make us go through all the changes, they might as well have something we're paying for.